Good afternoon, David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. Welcome to the Enjoy the Journey Luxury Travel. So today's topic, Odyssey of the Seas Cruise Review. We have Sue Mooney here. I'm bringing in 2 seconds our cruise travel specialist, general travel specialist, part of my Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency, based in Maine, used to live in Key Largo, and she was on the Odyssey of the Seas, the latest Royal Caribbean Quantum class ship this summer. We finally caught her to get her on the show to talk about this amazing ship, the amazing itinerary, and how she handled all the safety and protocols on board, because that was a time when COVID was spiking and obviously vaccinated and unvaccinated travelers were allowed to cruise. So we're going to talk to Sue. We're going to talk about her experience. They're going to talk about the latest itineraries, where's this amazing ship's going, and the things you need to know to have a good cruise this fall, this winter, or maybe even next summer. With that said, let's bring on Sue. What's up, Sue?
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. How's the weather in Maine today?
It's a little dreary today, but we really do need the rain. It has been beautiful. The leaves are turning. It's probably a little past peak in my location, but yeah, it's been stunning. It's been a great, colorful fall and a little warmer than normal, which has been great.
I guess in a few weeks, you'll probably wish you're on another cruise down here. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what I want to do first is talk about the ship and the itinerary you went on. Then I'll let you take over. And then I have some things. We have some pictures. We have a little bit of video clips that Sue took. It looks like, just seeing your pictures, you guys had a fantastic time. So I'm excited to hear all about it. So what is the Odyssey of the Seas? It's Royal Caribbean. We all know Royal Caribbean, the 25 ships worldwide. They have different classes of ship. This is the Quantum class, not the biggest class, not the Monster Oasis class. This is about 5,000 people, not 80 million people. It has a very high tech, probably their high test of all the ships, and Sue has a lot to say about that. She has over 1,900 staterooms, holds 4,800 passengers. That's just a double occupancy. She gets over 5,000 if you start maxing out the 3 and 4 berths, and about 1,300 crew. But I like her is she's a straightforward ship to navigate, where the Oasis class has like 2 sides, and one side here and open in the middle, which is great. That ship's impossible to navigate. To me, with this center hallway, the center royal promenade in the middle, I've sailed on her sister ship, the Quantum and the Anthem, very mirror ships. It's just amazing technology. And Sue went on an 8-night Southern Caribbean cruise this summer, July 31st to August 8th. It was actually a girls' trip, a group trip, right, Sue?
It was great. We had two of our group that one turned 50 and one turned 60. So it was fun.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, that's what a great time for a cruise. Yeah. Okay. So that's the ship. Southern Caribbean, by the way, just to give one more preview, was the ports which kept changing, I think, from Aruba, Curacao, and the Bahamas being their private island, which we'll talk about because I want to hear about this. Perfect Day, CocoCay. This was a boring little beach stop, which people love. Now it's amazing. Transformed. And we do have a couple pictures of that too. We're going to do a photo reel in a little bit and Sue's video clips as we talk about the cruise. So that preview said, and I'll go into the stops later as we talk about the pictures of the actual ports in those islands. So, Sue, tell us about the genesis of this trip, how it came about, and what you guys had to go through even to get on her.
Well, we actually booked this cruise during COVID when everybody was sitting home. It gave this little group hope for the future to do something fun together. And, lucky enough, we, as our group, got pushed around from one ship to another. I think we had changed 3 different cruises, 3 different boats. So finally, we got pushed to Odyssey of the Seas. It was not our original itinerary that we wanted, but we were glad because the boat looked amazing online. So did a lot of research online. There is quite a bit of videos and things if you ever need to look at more detail. So that's how it became. And we were lucky enough to not get canceled. And we were lucky enough to get on this boat. July 31st was coming close. And about a day or 2 before we got on the cruise, they sent an email saying, the rules are changing a little bit. So we had a test and they were very accommodating. They tested us right at the port. We got there, they put us on a bus, they took us over to another area at the port, tested everyone, you had to wait for your results, and then you got on the boat. We were lucky enough, I mean, this boat carries almost 5,000 people. The week that we went, there was only 1,500 passengers. I didn't even pass anyone in the hallway. I have to be honest.
Wow.
The only time I actually saw someone was at the pool or down in the promenade or obviously in the main dining room. So it was.
You almost had more crew than passengers.
It was, and yeah, I mean, it was 1-to-1. They pampered every passenger. They could not do enough for you. They were wonderful, and they were so happy to see us. I can honestly say they were giddy.
They're definitely, we had that in our cruise in Celebrity Edge. I did a review. Check it out on my YouTube channel. And that was at June 26th. So a month before Sue's cruise, but we felt the same way. Like some of these people had spent 300 days at sea straight, including the captain who was married, famous female captain. So I understand the feeling you had. So you guys got totally spoiled, which was fantastic.
Totally spoiled. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was wonderful.
Excellent. So on the ship, you finally sailed an itinerary. You did have ports of call, but first off, let's talk about the ship itself. How is this ship different than other cruises you've done or other cruises ships you've looked at or heard about?
Well, the layout is a little different. I've done another cruise to Alaska. So that ship compared to this ship was completely fabricated differently. Yes, you have your exterior, where your pool areas, and that's kind of typical for a cruise. There's 2 locations for that. One towards the front, one towards the middle. And then in the rear end of the boat on that same level or those 2 levels is your sports. They have the surfing area, the air flying thing and, rock climbing wall. They have a sportsplex center that is amazing. Many classes were held there, Zumba, you could pickleball. They have bumper cars in certain evenings. They put the bumper cars on. It was, they had silent disco there. That was a lot of fun too.
That is a trademark. Silent disco is a trademark of Royal Caribbean ship. It's now caught on to other ships too. Celebrity has silent disco on our cruise, but that sports complex is something else. I took a kickboxing group on Royal Caribbean, first Liberty of the Seas, an older ship, and then the Anthem in 15 and 16. I sailed with them in 16. And they just loved being in that sports complex in the morning all to themselves. We actually arranged that beforehand. But yeah, that is a multi-function room that could have 10 different uses. And I love the fact they have a hot dog truck and back.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing about this one, I don't know if you had that on your cruise, but around the top, there's another level. And the one portion is a sports bar. So, nice. It's very funny when you're doing the silent disco and everybody's laughing. You can see the hilarity of the passengers looking over at people singing at the top of their lungs, but no music playing. Just entertaining. It was a good time.
You make a great point. See, on the ships I were on, the Quantum and the Anthem, which were the first 2 in this class, because the Quantum and this type of ship Sue sailed on is a totally different style of cruise ship. When I sailed on her, that was not that way. And there are slight differences between the ships. Like I have friends, they sail on every cruise ship of that. So they call it Carnival, call it Royal Caribbean. They just do that because there are differences. And that's a major difference. That sports bar you're talking about, I'm not sure even existed. I'm thinking of the one on Oasis class, but that's good. It's good to know. I now want to sail in the Odyssey of the Seas. Exciting.
Yeah.
Excellent. So the ship was great. Go ahead.
That sports bar upstairs is one of the dining rooms or dining areas that has these big windows. So if you're sitting at a high top table right next to the window, we pulled out a Curacao from there. It was a great view from our dining table. It was probably the best pull away that we did the entire trip visually.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And now before we came on to live here, you did mention about 270, this unique room in the back of the ship, unique to this class of ship. So what happens in 270?
A lot of things happen in 270. I mean, it is the complete rear end of this ship. And when maybe there's a picture there, but you can see this big black glass that sits on the back of the ship. That room is used for entertainment. It's used for maybe disco night, maybe there actually we saw a play there. The stage moves up, down, people sink into the ground. They have floating panels of, visual aids. And even the whole back of the ship, these panels come down. They utilize the back as a visual aid also. But during the day, if you go into that room, you see the jet wash, and it is a broad view, 270, of the back of this ship. It's an amazing room. The technology is probably, they're saying, is the highest tech right now that's on the market. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's impressive.
And by the way,
did you try the robotic bartenders on board?
We watched it. We did. We didn't actually use it. Everybody was gathered around, so we just, let somebody else do it and watched it. Yeah. Yeah.
Those started, I was there in the quantum class with the engineer who helped develop them, because there was still some bugs he was working out. And I have a famous video of me like not looking down and get my drink and having to come to me. It was a big deal. Now they're so popular, they brought them onto the Oasis class ships after renovations. Okay. If you ever do these, people who are watching out there, don't be afraid, but don't be bold either. Start simple. Start with one of their drinks, then go, because you can go crazy and customize, but it's very technical, and you could really overshoot a certain type of booze, but you can go crazy and customize once you get used to it. I've had clients who used it every day and just got the hang of it. Were mixing their own concoctions. It's pretty cool. But that's the type of technology.
It was its own entertainment. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But and I will say, the last thing we'll say about the ship before we go to itineraries, then we'll go into Sue's pictures, is this ship was launched for a reason, as a different kind of way Royal Caribbean does their cruises. This was a technological marvel. We'll talk about the North Star. You can't see it here in this picture behind me, but the big observation deck that goes up to 250 feet, the 270 room with all full technology, robotic bartenders, just a different live and feel, very technology oriented rooms for dining. That's what this ship was all about. And it's been a big hit because of it, because it attracts that kind of younger demographic and a more savvy generation, which we're all becoming. We have to become that way. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed the technology on board.
And they have a lot of dining experience too. I don't need to get off track a little bit, but the dining experience, Alice in Wonderland themed, restaurant was amazing. The food came out with a purpose, a nest and an egg, these kind of, desserts that look like apples, and your drinks, smoked. And they really have gone out of their way to be different, for sure.
I agree. And honestly, when they first launched the quantum ship, they tried to mirror the freestyle dining of Norwegian, and it didn't work because they're different customers. I mean, the people that sell Norwegian don't sell Royal Caribbean. Yeah, if you do, but they actually had to make it. They tried to make it where it was like all specialty restaurants, and it failed miserably. I actually met a girl locally at a network function here in Key Largo, and she asked about that, and I'm like, I don't think it's going to work for you guys. She's like, yeah, it's not. So it's now more of an open dining experience. Which
it is. And for us, I mean, because there was so few on the boat, we could pretty much get into any restaurant we wanted, even if it was that day. But however, the main dining room, we ate there probably three evenings out of the 8, and their food is top notch, David. It was very, very good. Yeah. I mean, there was no complaints, none. It was amazing. Desserts were even better. So.
Yeah. Royal Caribbean was always very good on food, and they've really stepped up, especially restaurants. Then this ship with so many specialty restaurants and trying to follow the Norwegian model really made them better at food. So they've really improved overall. They're getting near almost celebrity status to me.
Yeah, well improved. There was not one meal that I could say I could complain about. Not one.
That's great news. That's a great review.
For 8 days, they did great. Yeah.
All right, so here's what I'll do next. Let's talk about your ports of call. What I'll do is show the pictures, which will review some of the ship features, and then that goes in the ports of call, and then we'll talk more about each one when the pictures are done. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, so let me get into Sue's awesome pictures she sent me. And thank you for producer Bonnie Barnes for helping me, because you sent me a bunch in a new Apple format I couldn't convert.
Oh,
No,
thanks,
that's
Bonnie.
Apple. Thanks, Bonnie. All right. So these are the pictures. Once he gets past the black screen here, Sue will talk about the different parts of the ship and what we
It took
saw.
us 2 days to. Oh, this is CocoCay. That's the back of the ship. That's 270. That black across the back of that boat there.
That's CocoCay's dock. Wow, dock's impressive. First time I've seen it.
Yeah. This is the pool area, exterior glass. You can get out of the sun if you wanted. There's the pool, and there's the walking track is above there. I think it's a mile, 3/4 of a mile around. Oh, there's Wonderland. Yeah, that's the restaurant with Alice in Wonderland theme. Crazy chairs, crazy dining. It was wonderful. Actually, I believe this is Aruba.
Big docks.
Yes,
impressive docks at all locations.
Yeah. Oh no, Curacao. I believe that's Curacao. Big docks, plenty of room. You could see that ship from everywhere on that island. Oh, this is CocoCay. We got a floating cabana. It's an additional charge for this. It was a great day. It's the day before you come back. You could snorkel out there, go down the slide. They'll bring you anything you want. There's the pool again. Actually, right above that is the North Star, where it lifts you above the sea, about 250 feet in this eye round type of thing. That was actually from the cabana. Yeah, those
are impressive. Those were not there last time I was at CocoCay, which is a number of years ago. But wow, impressive.
We had 2 cabana boys, 2 that brought us whatever we wanted. It was food, drinks, anything, extra towels. They were terrific, very accommodating, comfortable. We got there 9 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't get off that floating cabana until almost 5 o'clock. It was nice. A great day. We played cards. We, just whatever, just hung out. It was
North Star pick.
Here's a North Star. I mean, this was an amazing trip. It takes about 6 to 8 minutes to complete, but what a view from up there. This, I believe, was Curacao. This is like a floating bridge that actually twists so boats can go through.
Nice.
And then we went to the Curacao fabricators, bought some of that, of course. This is the town of Curacao. Curacao was great. This is what it looks like. I mean, it's very colorful, and it wasn't actually too busy when we were there. However, Aruba, though, for shopping was much more on the mark because they have a lot of jewelry and things like that. Curacao tended to be more T-shirts and that kind of buy. But Aruba is all about the jewelry. Every store is jewelry. So, of course, we bought some.
Yes. I didn't see many pictures from Aruba, but she did also stop in the capital of Aruba, Oranjestad, I guess they call it. These are the Dutch Antilles, so hence the colors and the crazy names, because the Dutch settled Aruba, Bonaire, which is more of a dive destination, not a cruise stop, and then Curacao, hence the crazy names and the crazy flavor. But I love, when I saw your pictures, I'm like, oh yeah, it's gotta be those islands.
Oh yeah.
Now, what's unique about Sue's 8-night Caribbean cruise is this cruise is not normally run. You can't get to these islands on a 7-night cruise. And I like the fact that these ships are a bit faster. They can pull this off. Normally you're departing from Puerto Rico to get down this far south, because you're right off, Venezuela. You're right off South America. You are deep, deep South Caribbean. And I like the fact they can pull this off in 8 nights, and that you're not flying into Puerto Rico and out of Puerto Rico and spending extra money on that type of flight. So pretty cool.
Yeah, he beat-feeded it for 2 days. 2 days, and they went down through Cuba. That he cut through and then came down that way. But he beat-feeded it for 2 days, and then the 3rd day we got onto the first island. But it's nice that they do it that way, because for 2 days it's great. You get to go learn where the bingo is, or learn about this ship. It took us 4 or 5 days to figure out the ship.
Oh yeah, no, it's a big ship. That's why these ships, you have to sail them on the bigger cruises.
Yeah.
All right, I got a couple video clips to show. Then we'll round out the show talking about upcoming itineraries of this fantastic ship. Where is she going in the future? Because she's not staying in the U.S. come next summer, which is exciting. So let's talk about, I do have one more shot of Curacao. Obviously, you loved it. Plenty of pictures from there. This is a quick little
The
clip of the
chocolate
water.
locker
Obviously,
room.
this was a windy day. Quick little clip there, but a couple things to notice is when you get off a big cruise ship, it's always best to be docked. When you have 5,000 people trying to get to a destination, to tender is crazy. I've done it on bigger ships. These have monster concrete docks in these destinations. That's why they're so popular cruise destinations. And you can see all the colorful buildings in the background. I love it's beyond other parts of the Caribbean because of the diversity of colors. It's very unique there.
Curacao tended to have a little more green to it too, like with the landscape itself, compared to Aruba. Aruba seemed is more desert-like. It is.
It is.
I've been there
It is.
prior to other trips, but Curacao tended to be a little greener.
And next up, I want to show you more of the North Star. This is what I'm jealous of because when I was on her, she didn't go up it during sea. I think because of waves. I thought they weren't running. In port, she only goes straight up and straight down. They don't want her hanging over there during port. Maybe because of the weight of the ship, I don't know. But this is Sue up high, 250 feet above the ocean floor on the North Star. Only unique to this class, quantum class of Royal Caribbean ships. No one else has this amazing view. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
I mean, obviously you had a good time. You said you went up there by yourself. So impressive. So your group didn't want to join you?
It actually looked, and you know what's really nice too, David? I'd like to mention that when you look down off that photo, there's the solarium is in the front. And this is a totally glassed in. It's got pools, hot tubs. It's got the sun beating through. It's got a bar. We spent some time there, to play cards or just at the end of the day, have a cocktail and sit in the hot tub with the group. It was a great room. It got utilized a lot.
Yeah. Solarium. This solarium's on Royal Caribbean. That's been their trademark for a lot of class of their ships, probably since the Voyager class, the first mega ship in 2000. They are awesome. They do it right. One last video, the Flow Rider, which is trademark of most Royal Caribbean ships, probably for a long time. They started on Liberty class, which was the actually Freedom class. Now they've actually retrofitted other ships with them. It's this fantastic wave machine. Did you ride the Flow Rider?
I did not.
It is not for everybody, but if you have younger teenage kids or really people young at heart, this is an amazing. The Flow Rider in the back of the Odyssey of the Seas. Definitely had some wind out there.
Oh, yeah, it was windy. Yeah, a couple of these were pretty rough. Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about is just how much Perfect Day CocoCay has changed. This is in the Berry Islands. It's actually right next to Great Stirrup Cay, which is Norwegian's private island. And then the smaller one's Little Stirrup Cay, but they've always called it CocoCay. This was not much when I was there in 97 and then 2001, then 2005. Last time I was there was probably 2010, I think. And now she's grown up. They put like $250 million into her. Now she's water sports complexes, cabanas.
It's amazing. I mean, the island itself it's transformed. They have definitely put them. But like I said, they shuttled us wherever you wanted to go. They had air balloons there, but the balloon was not running that day. I don't know if maybe it was too windy. I'm not really sure. They have like a water park in the middle of that, which is great if you have children. But it was just, we were 6 women and we just chose the cabana and they catered to us and it was worth the money. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
Excellent. And the last thing I want to touch on is the safety protocols and procedures, what Sue talked about on the show. That was from July. That is ever changing. So make sure you fully understand right now with Norwegian winning a lawsuit in late summer, a lot of cruise lines have moved to really pushing for vaccinations. If you choose to travel unvaccinated, obviously you can contact each of us and we'll tell you what options are available. There are cruises out there. There are less out there as long as you follow the testing procedures. So just keep in mind that the safety and protocols on board are there to keep you safe. Now, Sue, did you feel safe on board?
I felt like we were in the bubble that, every time you went back to your room, your handle was wet from them cleaning. They provided masks every day, fresh for every passenger. There were, they tested everyone before we got on the ship, which was fine. And then cleanliness, there's someone on every corner cleaning a handrail. Actually, what I found amazing was the elevator. You don't even have to touch the buttons on the elevator. They are heat censored, so you didn't even have to touch anything. That's where they've gone with the technology on this boat. I felt like we were in the bubble. Unvaccinated, I believe on our ship, they said there was 80 unvaccinated on the boat, but there was a lot. Some places they could not go into, like the smaller pubs. It was for vaccinated only. You had to have a bracelet on in a purple bright color to indicate that you were vaccinated. Actually, the shows, they had some Broadway shows that were amazing. But the second story is where, like in 270 and in the Broadway show area, where the unvaccinated had to sit in the upper level. They just, put them in a different area. But other than that, I felt like we were in the bubble. We said when we get off the boat, we're a little afraid to get off the boat, because we were in the bubble. Yeah. That's how I felt about it. And I know it's hard for people to understand that, but that's how we all felt, every one of us, before we left.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
When I cruised in Celebrity, the first cruise in the U.S. in 15 months, it was wide open because they could do vaccinated and unvaccinated, but it was much different. COVID really spiked in July in Florida and nationwide, so you were basically right on the verge of things really cracking down for cruising, not shutting down, thankfully, again. But right, you were kind of right. I remember you guys were like, we don't want to go home. We're happy on the ship. Yeah. Excellent reviews, Sue. Before we go, I did look up and talk with Sue. We are both travel agents, so if you know us, contact us directly. And before I give you our contact information, let's tease you out there of where is this amazing ship going? Where is she going? What is it doing? We got it right here in front of us. For one, this is a ship that sails to Europe. That's what it was designed to do. And when Europe, obviously, winter's now popular over there for us to go, even for locals to cruise. There are minimal cruises over there year round. She's going to go Earth Day, April 22nd, 14-day Spanish transatlantic cruise from Miami over to actually, this is Fort Lauderdale, this cruise, right? I'm sorry, Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale. Royal Caribbean sails out of Bow, so I get confused. So they're out the big terminal they have in Fort Lauderdale, which is an awesome, huge terminal. It's going to sail, and then from there in early May, she's going to check out this, Sue. We got Greek Isles cruises, 9 nights.
Wow.
Holy Land cruises, 8 to 9 nights. It's going to rotate those itineraries throughout most of the summer. And then she comes back October 31st, Halloween night, and she comes back to the U.S. for the wintertime for more of these 8-night Southern Caribbean cruises. So this is the Southern Caribbean ship. Norwegian has the bigger ships, the Oasis class, doing the traditional Eastern-Western itinerary. This ship's efficiency, her speed, and her technology have made her just perfectly suited for that 8-night itinerary. So if you enjoyed it, you heard anything about this today, this itinerary is available now all summer. And Sue, we talked about before we went live, this is the time to cruise, which is the next few months.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the space is still limited on that boat. It's like your own private cruise. It is the time to go. I would love to do it again if I could.
Yeah, let's go soon. Let's go this winter. Well, when it gets cold, you may be talking about cruising again.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. So if you want to read Sue, if you're watching the show and know Sue and you want her to plan your travel, she's done an amazing job since you joined my travel agency last year. I just really appreciate you coming on board. And her group had an amazing time. We talked about it today. It's 207-805-7886 or Sue at bucketwishtrip.com. You can also DM her on Facebook if available. And then if you guys are friends of me, you know me. I'm David Hartman. You know where to find me. Best way to reach me is DM me or email me if you're interested in one of these amazing itineraries. Amazing ship. We talked about the Odysseys of the Seas today. This has been an Odyssey of the Seas cruise review, the latest Quantum class ship from Royal Caribbean, the latest ship from Royal Caribbean in general, launched just last year. And Sue was on the first cruises ever for this wonderful ship. And we talked about it today. If you're just joining on, it'll be available on recording after we go live. And I did have a couple of questions on board right before we leave. I noticed in our chat out there from one of our diehards, we have Leslie, we have Debbie. Thank you out there. They asked, were there many kids on board? And is this a kids-friendly ship?
It is a kid-friendly ship because I believe they have camp there. And then they also have one of the pools has a lot of younger kid, little slides and things of that nature. So that's where the families hung. And then the other one was more of the adult pool. But there were children on board, and I can't say there was a lot. I didn't hear a lot of activity of children. But then again, like I said, we only had 1,500 of us in total. So the only time I would actually see them is really at when I walked by the kid pool.
I agree, because this is a kids-friendly ship, and I was on her full 2016 full summertime itinerary out of New York, New Jersey port, and there were kids on board, and they all were having a fantastic time. The activities on board, the technology on board. I mean, hell, the kids love the elevators. Ooh, touchless, It is kids-friendly. It's hard to look at current cruise itineraries and see so few kids on board on social media and live feeds and blogs and think that is today's cruising. It's not. It's not the norm what's going on right now. So because of inability kids get vaccinated, a lot of parents are holding them back from cruises, to be flat out honest with you. We had no kids on my ship, plus celebrities, more an adult line. Royal Caribbean is the family cruise line, and this ship, even though it's not as famous as Oasis class, to me is some way more kids friendly because a lot less space they can get lost at. But amazing. Sue, great to have you on. Go ahead.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, David. I appreciate it.
Now, great to have you on. As always, we'll have you back again soon. Talk about some other destination you've been to. Appreciate you guys out there. And please contact us if you want to book this amazing ship or any cruise itinerary for the future. And we'll see